Hey, this your girl Michelle Diva. I am bringing you another episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 18, reunion part 1. Okay, if you are new here, welcome, 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 welcome. We do reviews here. We are family here. And if you are returning, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right. Give me a thumbs up, okay? Give me a like, okay? Give me a like. And share and subscribe and comment to my channel. And we will begin. Now, this this reunion could have been one part, okay? It could have just been one part. Because first of all, they showed up 2 hours late on stage. Okay, far as I'm concerned, you need to dock they pay and make this season, this reunion one part. That way they don't get paid for them other 2 parts. Okay, everybody get they pay docked. Far as I'm concerned, okay, because y'all should have been on stage at the right time. Okay, they show up, and it was in Atlanta, so it's no excuses. There's no excuses, okay? It's in Atlanta. It's not even in New York. It's in Atlanta. And they arrive at the studio around 6:30, okay? 3 hours before taping, okay? 3 hours, because they're supposed to be on stage at 9:30, okay? So that's 3 hours before taping. They should be downstairs. Okay. Porsha upstairs. She done ate some breakfast, some bacon and some eggs, and she sleep on the couch. And ain't no glam squad in her room. So I don't know if she was waiting on the glam squad and she was just taking a nap or whatever. But wasn't no glam squad in her room. Phaedra walking around with a doggone robe on and not a bonnet, a turban on, looking, knocking on everybody's door. And so she go up into knock on Britt's door, and she go in there. Ain't nobody in there. Ain't nobody look like they ever been in there. Okay. But she ain't, matter of fact, she ain't knock on Drew's door because Drew wasn't there neither. she was. So everybody wondered where Britt at. Hell, they should have wondered where Drew at. Drew showed up at 10:40. No, 10:15. 45 minutes after they had to be on stage. She arrived. Okay, wasn't nobody checking for Drew, I guess. Okay, but Phaedra was checking on Britt and found out she wasn't nobody there. And it wasn't, don't look like nobody was there, but Drew's dressing room was the same way. If she'd have knocked on that shit, so Cynthia come, and Cynthia, she looked like she was trying to get dressed or whatever, but she come in there and she was just like, they were like, Britt ain't here. And so they was like, where you think Britt at? And I think Porsha called her. She, didn't answer her call and stuff like that. Who cares? So then Cynthia was like, how when we got to be on stage? And Phaedra was like, I think about 9. So that's 30 minutes before they supposed to be on stage. Nobody still was on stage. So then the newbies was in the other room. Kelly was actually getting dressed and getting her makeup done and things like that. And she all her glam squad had Kelly a t-shirt to say Kelly's Glam Squad on it. So everybody know this Kelly Glam Squad and nobody else's. So, and Shamia was there and Angela was there. They said that they didn't get any sleep and things like that. Whatever. So Like I said, y'all, they showed up they're supposed to show up 3 hours before to be on stage, and nobody was on the stage at 9:30. Nobody. Okay. And like I said, Drew showed up 45 minutes after they supposed to be on stage. So 11:30, Andy looked like he been sitting there for 2 hours. He got his phone out. He probably over there looking at TikToks and shit, or or YouTubes. Yeah, he trying to pass the time away since nobody's on the stage. So Kelly come out first, and then then Angela comes, then Shamia comes, then Porsha comes, and Shamia roll her eyes. I said, "Damn, what's going on?" And then then Phaedra come out. What the hell? Oh my God! No way! Here we go. Boo! What the fuck you got going? What the hell you got going on? See, you know what? I didn't even do a review of the looks because I honestly and truly did not like any of the looks, any of them. Okay, the one I did like the most was Shamia's. Okay, but I ain't particularly care for that one either. Okay, and I think number two would be Porsha's. But the one that I did like that she didn't show up was Britt's. If she'd have shown up in that dress, that was fire, and it fit her great. She would have been the best dress, as far as I'm concerned. But I didn't even I couldn't even enjoy the dress because she didn't come to the reunion. But I ain't like none of these other dresses. I didn't like none of them. I ain't like Cynthia's dress. I ain't like Phaedra's dress. Well, I sure didn't like Phaedra's dress, okay? But I ain't like Drew's dress. I ain't like Angela's dress. I didn't like Kelly's dress. I ain't like none of them, okay? So I ain't even do a review because I ain't have nothing good to say about none of them. Honestly and true, I ain't have nothing good to say about none of them, okay? I like the hair, some people's hairs, some people's hair. Or their makeup and stuff, but the dress, no, nope. So, but the one I did like, she didn't show up. Okay, but I want to know what Kenya's would have been, because I'm quite sure Kenya would have, she would have been stunned on them hoes. Okay, but we would never know. Okay, anyway. So they show up at 11:30, and Drew show up at 12:30. Okay, 3 hours late. Okay, come on, y'all, come on. And why everybody on one couch, and then you got Porsha and Phaedra on the other couch? Okay, y'all should did better than that, honey. Y'all should have did better than that. I say y'all should have put Drew. Well, y'all should have moved Kelly to the other couch. Okay, y'all switched Kelly and Phaedra, and you because you can't have Angela over there, and you can't have Shamia over there, and Drew should be in the first chair, or Angela should be in the first chair. Okay, because they kept the season going. Okay, so it should be Drew and Porsha in the first chairs, because it was their conflict, So, but who am I? It's over. We're done with. So, Porsha got another boob job. Okay, cause she got a she gotta make her body tight and right for the next her next sponsor for her and PJ. Okay, so she had to get her boobs drawn. She had to get the lipo on the belly. To get her six pack and shit like that. She already got her ass done. Okay, so that's done and stuff like that. So she had to, she walk on treadmill. She don't even run. She don't do no for real cardio. So she gotta keep her body tight and right. So she can get her next sponsor because she old now. You know, like the previous sponsor, she was young. She was real young when she had Cordell as her sponsor, and then she was she was you know getting older. Okay, when Simon came along. Okay, but she was still older. Okay, okay, but she wasn't that old. Okay, so. So yeah, but now she old now, so she got to do whatever she can do to keep to get these sponsors because the sponsors don't like old hoes. They like young hoes. Okay, so she in a different bracket right now. Okay, but Simon living his life over there in Nigeria, Dubai, whatever, Saudi Arabia, over there somewhere, living his best life and not paying nothing on this alimony and this house note and nothing like that because they ain't got they can't enforce it. He over in a different country. They can't enforce that. They can't enforce it. So he ain't paying nothing. He a scammer. He ain't paying nothing, girl. Yeah. Yeah. So whatever. Then um so then Andy asked Phaedra, was she having PTSD for being on the reunion stage again? Yes, honey, cause when the last time she was on the reunion stage, all I saw was, you said that, the lies, the lies, the lies. Candy walked off stage. Porsha crying, talking about, no, you told me. And so she was just like, well, no, you told me that, Phaedra, you told me that. She started crying, girl. Ooh, that was a good reunion, Jack. It was a good reunion. The lies. Oh. But Phaedra was like, reunions are hard anyway. Yeah, it was real hard that time, honey, because you got caught up. Okay, you got caught up. Anyway, so Andy also said to Shamia, said, you was from +1 to the one. And so Porsha rolled her eyes. I said, "Ooh, these bitches." I said, "Y'all really don't like each other." So, and Shamil was like, "Yeah, that's what they say. That's what they say." So they were. Andy lets everybody know that Brew that's Drew and Britt. Brew Britt won't be attending the reunion. And so then Drew said that she's filing a lawsuit against her for the pictures that weren't even her. Okay, and we don't even know if Drew sent them, okay, to Kenya, okay? So these pictures that weren't even her, she's suing. I don't know how she gonna sue that, how she gonna do that, but anyway. So then, so Andy looks at Phaedra, and this is what was going on in his mind. So I'm gonna tell you what was going on in his mind. Andy was like, "What the hell you got on your damn head, Phaedra?" That's what he had on his mind. What the hell? What the hell you got on your damn head? Okay, but Andy didn't say it like that. But he said, "Well, tell us about your headpiece." Okay, that's what he said. Tell us about your headpiece. She was like, it was inspired by Jab Jab. It was a hot fucking mess. That's what it was. It was a hot fucking mess. Okay. It that whole outfit was a hot fucking mess. It was. There was no redeeming. Nobody liked the outfit. Nobody, nobody liked that outfit. She ain't getting no good reviews on the outfit at all. Anyway, so after commercial break, they bring Cynthia out because that other couch was looking real lonely and real desperate over here. So they bring Cynthia out so she can get on that couch. And Cynthia should have moved up and sat beside Porsha instead, because Phaedra should have been at the end of any couch because she was only there for 2 weeks. So I don't even know how she got second chair when she was only there for 2 weeks. Hell, Cynthia should have got the second chair if you was only gonna have 3 people on that couch. Okay. If you was going to only have 3 people on that couch, Cynthia should have been the second chair because Phaedra didn't bring nothing to the show at all. At all. Anyway, Andy said, then Andy asking about Cynthia's hood on her vajayjay. Okay. And then he said, does the hood come off? And so Cynthia was like, this is not a conversation for you. People, I don't understand why y'all act it. I'm a nurse. For 30 years I've been a nurse. We have the same anatomy downstairs. Either it's inside or it's outside. Okay? We got the same fucking anatomy. Okay, y'all? Okay? Either it's outside or it's inside. Okay? We all start off the same. Everybody is a zygote. Everybody is a zygote. Okay? Then either that clitoris shoots out and becomes a penis, or it remains in this clitoris. Okay, so that's female or male. Okay, either the ovaries are on the inside, or the ovaries drop down and on the outside. Male and female. That's it. The same anatomy. So that hood is foreskin. Everybody got it. Okay, unless you can get it removed. You can get it removed. Okay, just like circumcision, you can get it removed, but everybody got it. Okay, I don't even know where all of this conversation came from. Everybody got the same shit. Golly, Jesus Christ. I got to bring that down because that shit is that was stupid to me. Okay, talking about your stuff is in the KKK. That's stupid, 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 stupid. You stupid. Okay, and it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. I don't even know why they brought you back. Anyway, and so Andy talking about Cynthia's boyfriend, the Prince. And she was like, he 39, and then she asked how old Phaedra's TV boyfriend is, and because she only have him for TV. TV boyfriend, okay. She said he 32. Yeah, he a TV boyfriend. Stop it. Anyway, so they go to Porsha's montage, and they go about the divorce that she can't speak of, and not filming in her house. That's what she did. She was supposed to have. That's what she was supposed to do, and she couldn't. And Drew and Dennis, that was made up, and then they showed Londi at the end, and so Porsha teared up and stuff like that, and so he was like, "Oh, cause we mentioned Londi, so Andy, so you know, like the rest of us know that she wasn't in love with Simon." Cause she wasn't crying about her divorce. Is that what it is? Cause all you said was about Londi. Cause it went over all her stuff. Okay, and so you ain't think she was crying about the divorce. You think like the rest of us that she wanted a sponsor. Is that what it is? She wanted to live with him. She wanted a sponsor. Okay, I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you, because I was just like, she's teared up. He was like, "Oh, about Londi." Yeah, it must have been about Londi, because it wasn't about the divorce, because she ain't love him. She wanted a sponsor. And so then they go over about this house. She was like, "Yeah, we find." Andy was like, "Yeah, we finally shot in your house," and she was like, "Well, Simon bought the house before they got married, and then she had it in a divorce that they would split it or something. I don't know." Whatever the case may be, she got the house in the divorce, but she can't keep up no monthly payments, so I don't even know what she gonna do in the house. That $40,000 ain't gonna keep up these monthly payments, so I don't know what she gonna do with this house. Okay, and why she need house that goddamn big anyway for her and PJ? Why do you need a house that damn big? For what? For what? Girl, for what? You gonna sell it anyway because you can't afford it. Anyway, she was just like, yeah, Shamia apparently and Gerald apparently said something about Simon's past, indiscretions and things like that. But so she said it took them 9 months to come up with a prenup, and all she got was that house. Okay. Oh, $40,000 a month, which we'll see if he pay it. He in Nigeria. How you gonna enforce it? Or Dubai? He's somewhere over there. He chilling. He can go anywhere. Long as he can't come back to the United States. But why would he? This we about to be enslaved anyway. All of us, okay? We are about to. Okay, if the billionaires have anything to do with it, we about to be enslaved anyway. Okay, so why would he want to come back? He can go anywhere else. Shit, I wouldn't come back here. Anyway, so the viewer question comes in. They ask Kelly, was she being messy, or was she concerned when she asked why she did still that lady husband? And Kelly said she was concerned. I said she was messy concern. Because it was messy too, okay? And I believe she was being messy and she was being concerned because we both Pisces. We both March Pisces. So I knew exactly where she was coming from. You was being messy, but you was concerned. Yeah, you got it. We got, I feel you, Kelly. She was being concerned and messy. Shit. It's all right. Porsha was like, well, did you get an answer? She was like, because you loved him. Ooh, yes, Lord.
That's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Yep. That's the biggest piece of dog shit, honey, because that's bullshit all day long and twice on Sunday, child. Anyway, then she said, Porsha said, we were going through the exact same thing. Our husbands were talking about us online and stuff like that. So Porsha and Drew was going through the exact same thing. But like Kelly said, I was married for 11 years. You were married for 11 months. Okay, so we are not the same. You can't even co-sign with Drew, because Drew been married for, I don't know, at least 8 years. Okay, so you can't really, you can't really, uh, you can't really compare neither one of them, because y'all, they actually love their husbands. They actually love their husband. Okay. Know about you. Anyway, so then Shamia, I don't know how they got on the topic of Shamia introducing Simon to Porsha. And so Shamia was like, no, I didn't introduce Simon to Porsha. But then Angela was like, in Nashville, you said you introduced them. And didn't Porsha have a picture with you and her? And the caption say, the best matchmaker ever? Okay, so what is it? Because Drew said, I heard that too, that she introduced you. And so Andy asked Porsha, being messy. See, messy. He said, well, did you make that up that Shamia introduced you to Simon because you slid in his DMs when he was having problems with Fallon? Is that what you did to cover that up? Because you slid in his DMs when he was having problems with Fallon. Andy messy. He is messy, and I'm here for it, Andy. I am here for it. And so she was just like, well, let me carry the heat. Let me carry the heat. I got him, and I gave him back. Yeah. Because you slid in them DMs. Okay? How you get them is how you lose them, chick. Okay? So next time when your next sponsor, you need to make sure he ain't married. Okay? He ain't married. Okay? Because how you get them is how you lose them. Jeez. Anyway. So, Andy asked, okay, so apparently Drew was on some podcast or whatever, and she said that Porsha's return was a flop. And so Andy said, do you stand by that? And Drew said, absolutely. She said that's why she had to check me the whole season because, she ain't had no storyline or stuff. And so Porsha was like, well, you should be worried about who flopping in that basement with Ralph. So, so Drew said, Simon said, you don't have a storyline. Simon said, you don't have a storyline. Okay, all right then. All right. Simon said, you don't have a storyline. So, yeah. So, and then she said, but she was like, well, Dennis is my family. He is my storyline. And Drew said, you knew that me and Dennis were working together because I told you after my birthday party. I said that too. I told y'all this shit is made up. She already knew that Drew was working with Dennis. She already knew. She already knew. I told y'all that. I told y'all. She already knew. That's why I didn't like the storyline because she already knew. And then she's trying to make shit up, because she can't film in her house and she can't do this and she can't do that. I already told you. She already knew what the shit was. Shit. But then Shamia's talking about she said she didn't know. And Drew was like, go sit on Portia's lap. And I'm with you on that, Drew. I ain't with you on that. Cause Shamia, shut the fuck up. You don't have no place here. She already knew cause Drew told her after her birthday party. Okay? She told her after her birthday party. Obviously you weren't there. So shut the fuck up, Shamia. So and then Shamia was like, well, when you came to my house, I was just asking were you dating Dennis? And everybody, said that I asked you, was you fucking Dennis? And so, but Angela said, well, Porsha said you need to leave it alone. And so then Portia's saying to Shamia, yeah, I told you, please don't bring up dating and things like that. Just keep it to filming. And so Shamia was like, no, you didn't. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. We're not going to do this. And so Porsha was like, so you saying I'm lying? And so Andy was like, okay, we moving on. We going to move on. Because they about to get into it. So Chuck from Ohio. Hey, Chuck from Ohio. Yay. So he asked Porsha, well, do you think you owe Drew an apology? And apparently she got up and hugged Drew. I don't know if that was an apology, but she got up and hugged Drew. Okay. Because I think she just wanted this conversation to be over with because she knew. She knew. Just like she said, I'll take the heat or whatever. I'll take the heat because she knew she DM'd him when he was married. Okay? So she got off of that. And so now she gonna give her a hug so she can get off this subject. Because she knew. Anyway. Kelly talk about this glam team that Britt stole. And she said, I've been working with these people a long time. Not, I didn't get a glam squad just for the show. I've been working with this team for a long time. And it takes years to build a team. And she wanted to come in and take my whole team. And I wasn't for that. I'm with you on that. I'm with you, Kelly. Okay. I would have told her that you can't work with her no more anyway. But Paris went over there, worked for her. Y'all, he I ain't like him no way. He was messy boots anyway, so he can go somewhere. He can go over there too. Anyway, so yeah, so Porsha said that Britt told her that the newbies wanted to have an alliance, and she was just like Britt, Kelly, and Shamia. They talked about this shit at Houston's. Okay. And Phaedra was co-signing and said, Britt told me that too. But Britt ain't here to answer for her stuff, so we don't know. Okay, so we can't, because Kelly and Shamia saying she lying. And so it's only one word against these two ladies, so we don't know. Okay. But then Shamia said the alliance. So since she said the alliance, so obviously it was an alliance. So the alliance was supposed to be Britt, Kelly, Shamia, and Porsha. And the face that on the look on Portia's face says that she wasn't in on that. And so because apparently the alliance was supposed to take Porsha down, but since Shamia said the alliance was supposed to be including Porsha, we don't know what the hell going on. Okay, so we don't know. So, but also Shamia told Britt and Kelly that she needs to get to know Porsha, because this is what she said. She said, because Porsha and I, we are young and fun. Who young? Who young? Kelly and Britt young. Even Drew young. You, my dear, and your so-called quote unquote best friend is in they early 40s, going close to being 45. It ain't 41. It's 43 and 44 now. Yeah. Who young and fun, honey? Y'all are what they call on TikTok, or what they call on the internet. Y'all y'all cougar aunties. Y'all cougar aunties, okay? And Phaedra is a thundercat, okay? Phaedra is a thundercat, and y'all cougar aunties, okay? No. Y'all not young. Okay. Y'all may be fun, but y'all not young, boo. Y'all not young. So I don't know where you got that from, honey. Y'all not young. Okay. Andy was like, did Porsha know she was in the alliance? Because her face is saying otherwise. And of course she was like, of course I would never be in alliance, because alliance destroys TV show. You have been in alliance. You had one that's sitting next to you. Okay, you have been in an alliance. Okay, so don't act like you have not been in an alliance, because you have been in an alliance. Okay, but they do destroy TV shows. I give you that. They do destroy TV shows. So Shamil was like, she said that is so not true. Whatever. Okay, we don't know. Britt's not here. So then they go to Kelly, and they talking about her divorce. She finally divorced. She had to spend $200,000 on a divorce, and she said that she had the bodyguard. I guess somebody said, I think somebody from Cleveland called and said, the viewer question from Cleveland said that she's spending too much money on the dogs and purses and stuff like that for her to be in financial restraints like that. And I said, yeah, that's true. But I honestly, truly feel that those purses that Chloe got came from that yellow app. Honestly and truly. Because I don't think she got it like that to buy all those purses. Okay, she may have had one that was like original, but I think all those most of those purses came from that yellow yacht, if not all. Okay, and I don't know what she doing with this dog. Okay, but Andy was like, you should be concentrating on waffles instead of the dog. Listen, Andy, I'm with you on that. I ain't with you on that. Then she said she paid $1,000 for IV therapy when she went over to Britt's house, and everybody was like $1,000, and she said, "Yeah, me, Mike, and Britt had IV therapy." I was just like, "Dang, that's $300 a pop." I said, "Shit, I'm in the wrong business. I should open IV therapy business." I think I'm looking into that. I'm gonna look into that. IV therapy, man. I just go to people's houses, put an IV in them, throw a little drip up there. I'm good. Ooh, and that's one day work, $1,000. Shit. Anyway, this video getting too long. Anyway, so Angela, they get into Angela montage. But they ain't say nothing about her mom, her mom passing away. You know, they ain't say nothing about her mom passing away, and I thought that was wrong. You know, they should have said something about her mom passing away, but they didn't. Anyway, so Andy said, why are you certain that Phaedra sent that man? And so Angela was like, that's what he told me. And she said he named somebody named Kimberly somebody. And then she said, I don't know Kim somebody. So if people, you don't say Kim unless you know that person. Okay, because she said Kimberly because she don't know that person. Okay. But she said Kim somebody, so she knows something. She knows something about her, but that don't mean she did it. But she knows something about her. Then so Angela pulled out this yellow folder, this little yellow folder from Office Depot. This look like Walmart, whatever. She said Marcus is friends with Kimberly. She said Kimberly. I put Kim, but she did say Kimberly, and she said, he went to school with and she showed a picture. I guess that's Phaedra's older brother. So Phaedra was like, plenty of people went to school with my brother and stuff like that. And so Phaedra was Angela was like, you did all of this to secure your spot. And so Phaedra was like, it's in my contract. I've already so apparently she signed on for 2 seasons and not 1. So that's the reason why she already knows she coming back next season. Because now mind you, nobody else saying that they coming back next season, but she knows she coming back next season because apparently it's in her contract that she coming back next season. But honestly, I don't even know if it's going to be a next season because this season was an epic fail. Unless they go back and reboot this whole show. Okay? I don't know if it's going to be a next season. Oh, honey, because this was an epic fail this season. Okay? So, anyway. This is your girl. That was the end of the episode. We'll see what's going on next week. I'm not really happy about it, but it's fine. But this your girl, Michelle Adiva. Give me a thumbs up. Like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel. And we will see you in the next video. Peace.